Hello everyone, this is your Professor Abida Mukarram. Welcome to CISC323, which is Linux Operating Systems. I'm excited to be working with you on this course. As you know, it's an 8-week course and we will be working on a weekly basis. Classes start on Saturday and you will very likely be receiving an announcement from me very shortly in the next day or so, and you will be able to access your Canvas course. I wanted to take a couple of minutes to go over what the basic Canvas navigation for this course looks like. So when you log into Canvas, this is what you are likely to see. This is me, and you will see the title of your course and information on what the best way is to reach me. So here's my name, my email address, and my virtual office. As you know, we will not be on campus this semester, so the best way to reach me would be either to send me an email via Canvas using the Canvas inbox, and also to avail of the office hours. And I'm available Monday through Thursday, 4:30 p.m. to 5:45. And if you click this link, then you will be taken to my office room. Now, here are some helpful tabs, and when you click on these tabs, you will be taken to all these places. I will not spend a huge bunch of time going over that in this video, but I would encourage you to explore this navigation landing page so that you can easily access some of the important places in your Canvas course. So when you go to start here and you click here, then you will be taken to the very first module, and here's where you will find all the basic information with regard to technology, with regard to policies, and so on. I'm going to ask you to go start there and go through each and every page ahead of time, so you are very familiar with the policies and procedures of this class, and also to take a lot of time to carefully go over the syllabus and all the units of the syllabus. So there is here, if you click to course syllabus, then you will see the overview of all the things you expect to learn in this class, the prerequisites if any, and also you can click here to get the downloadable version of the course syllabus. And I would really encourage you to print and save a copy of this and go through this, because you will be asked to take an orientation quiz, and this is going to be super helpful for that purpose. So I'm going to go back to modules and go back to where we were with syllabus. And as you can see, the entire document has been broken up into little chunks here. And this will give you all the information that will make you very familiar with my expectations and with what you are expected to achieve at the end of this course. After you're done with the syllabus, the next thing to do would be to go to the orientation module. And as you can see here, it says complete all items. So you will be expected to complete all the items that the orientation module needs you to. So the question is, how do you know what to do? If you scroll down here, then you see there is a tab which says tasks to complete. And amongst the tasks to complete are to do the computer setup, to set up your Canvas preferences, and do the orientation quiz and the orientation discussion. These have deadlines. The deadlines for completing the orientation quiz is 25th of August, and the deadline for the orientation discussion is also 25th of August. And I would really encourage you to start early, which is why the Canvas course is going to be available to you before Saturday, so that you can complete all of these assignments ahead of time. As you know, this is a very full class and there are people who are waitlisted, and it is only fair to give an opportunity to people who are waiting to get into this class, if you feel after going through this that perhaps this class is not for you, or you feel that you do not have the sufficient time to include this class amongst a ton of other classes that you plan on taking this semester. So I would encourage you to go ahead and complete this ahead of time, definitely by the deadline that's given. Now, one thing that you would need to do as part of this assignment, when you click into orientation discussion, what I see here is I see some questions that are meant to build our class as a community. So we have a very interactive platform where the class and I will be sharing information about each other, sharing technical information, and also helping each other with regard to debugging or with regard to other nuggets of information that might be helpful to peers. I will also be on this discussion and I will be participating in it. And hopefully, I hope to make this a very, very lively class. Now, one thing you are expected to do as part of the discussion assignment is to watch these videos. There are two things that, speaking of content, the two things that you will be doing is, number one, you will need access to the textbook, and number two is you're going to need access to the college server. So the book that we are going to be using is Michael Palmer's Unix using Linux, and I'm going to show you this book right here. But if you go through the syllabus, then you will see a picture of this book. So we are using the 4th edition, and I would like to ask you to stay with the 4th edition. The second thing that we are going to be doing is we are going to be accessing the college server. So here are 3 steps on how you can connect to the college server and how you can transfer files to the college server and back to your device. I would strongly encourage you to read these videos and become very familiar with the procedure because this is what you're going to be doing for your labs. You will be doing your labs on the college server, and therefore you need to be very comfortable, if you are not already comfortable, to make sure that you give yourself sufficient runway to practice doing all of this. So which brings us to, how are we going to access the college server without the login information? This announcement will contain information about your user ID and your password. Your user ID is going to be CISC323 underscore lowercase w followed by the 7-letter student number. This will be also sent to you along with this video. So please make sure that you respect case sensitivity, because as you know, Linux is case sensitive, and make sure that you have the underscore character and you've typed in all the letters that you need to enter in your user ID so that it becomes an acceptable user ID for the college system. So for example, if my user ID is 1234567, then I will type in CISC32X underscore W 1234567. That's going to be my user ID, and the password will also be sent to you in the announcement. Now, please practice using this password and logging into the system, and only when you're super comfortable that you can actually change your password and remember it will I ask you to do that, because as you know, IT is very, very impacted, and it may take a few days for them to help you to recover your password, and you may fall behind. So once you're done with the discussion, we will this class is meant to be very interactive, so please take the discussions quite seriously. And there is also, for each and every assignment, you're given a rubric. So if I click these 3 icons, it says show rubric here, And this gives you a detail on how your grade for this particular assignment is going to be earned, and how you can maximize addressing your assignment answers to the prompt so that you can get the full credit for it. So every assignment, your labs and your discussions will have a rubric, and I will encourage you to look at the rubric before you attempt the questions so that you will have a very good idea of how to structure your answers. So this is the rubric for the discussion, and there's two parts to it. One is how should you post the initial answer, and then how can you reply to a classmate. Usually what will happen is that you will be asked to post before you reply. So you will need to give yourself a couple of days. And typically, as you can see here, I'm going to click out of this and say, so typically what's going to happen here is if the deadline for this is a Sunday, so typically the deadline for all your assignments, let's say, is a Sunday, then you would post to the discussion by a Wednesday, and then wait for your classmates to post, and by a Friday you would be in a position to read your peer posts and be able to give a reply. So here is how, so once you are done with the orientation, by the way, here's a good video on how you can access Zoom in order to meet me for office hours. So there's tons of resources here, and I'm going to encourage you to go through all of this before the class starts, and then you're kind of sucked into all the work that you need to do. So this is a typical module. All your modules are going to have a very, very similar structure. There will be an overview which goes through what you're going to be learning in this module, objectives, how these tasks are meeting your learning outcomes, list of tasks that you need to do, all the resources to help you, and then the specific reading lab and quiz that you need to do for this particular module, and then the discussion that sums up. A lot of times the discussion may be a community building discussion. It could be a general chat discussion, which is always there, called the general discussion board, and you're free to post your questions regarding the course or technical help. But the discussion can also be an exploration of any concept. For example, the module 1 discussion is about open source. And so there will be a little bit of learning in some of the discussions. Some of the discussions may be an application. You might actually be able to, you might be asked to create a product, or it might be a reflection of what you have learned. So the kinds of discussions may be varying, and I would encourage you to actively participate in this. And at the end of each module is a module wrap-up summarizing all that you have done in this particular module. So, so I'm going to say welcome again, and please feel free to email me using Canvas. The best way to reach me is via Canvas, and so I would encourage you to go to the Canvas inbox and message me if you have any questions. Sending an email to me is not an official record, and so please do not send me your homework assignments or any files through email. Everything that you need to communicate to me is available on Canvas, and I would encourage you to stay within Canvas. Thank you so much for joining my course, and I look forward to having a great learning journey with you.